There's a story that anyone who is going through hardship needs to remember, and that is the story of Prophet Ayoub alayhi salam. In his early life, Prophet Ayoub alayhi salam was known to be a very wealthy man. He held an abundance of property, huge houses, plots of land, crops, business, servants, and so on. Not only did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him material wealth, but he also gave him a huge family and children. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him multiple forms of rizq for approximately 80 years. Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam eventually lost all of his wealth and even lost his family. Now, not only did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala test him with material wealth, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested him with his health as he was tried with a horrible disease. And it was an apparent disease. Like, people could tell that he had an illness and they were frightened to even get close to him, which is why he was completely isolated and abandoned by pretty much his entire city, his family, everyone that he knew except his wife. It's scary how we can experience one thing and its exact opposite in a few years' time. Anyways, it got so bad where his wife was trying to help him provide and she was looking for work. So eventually one day she asked him, why don't you call upon Allah? Why don't you make dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lift this trial from you? You're a prophet. How is this happening to you? This is what he said. He said something along the lines of, how long was I rich and healthy? And his wife was like, approximately 80 years. And he was like, okay, and how long has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala been testing me with my money and my health? And she was like, approximately 7 years. He was like, I would be shy to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lift the hardship from me when he gave me for 80 years and he only took it away from me for 7. It's just a mindset that is so beautiful, but he eventually did make that dua and he called upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and said, and this is stated in the Quran, Inni masani ad-durru wa anta arhamur rahimin. Oh Allah, indeed harm has touched me. Like masani means to barely touch something. Inni masani ad-durru wa anta arhamur rahimin. Indeed harm has barely touched me, and you are the most merciful of those who show mercy. And the ayah right after that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that he accepted his dua.